Today we are going to be looking into the disappearance of Dior Coons Jr. This is Dior. Dior lived with his parents Jessica Mitchell and Vernal Dior Coons and his great-grandfather Robert Walton in Idaho Falls, Idaho, United States. On the 10th of July 2015, Dior, his parents, Jessica's grandfather Robert, and Robert's friend Isaac Grenmond went camping at Timber Creek Campground, a remote campsite in Idaho. Isaac, Jessica, and Vernal decided to go fishing at a nearby reservoir at around 1:30 p.m, and they believed that Robert was watching Dior back at their campsite, but Robert believed that Dior was fishing with his parents. Dior's parents and Isaac came back from fishing at around 2:20 p.m. They realized that Dior was nowhere to be seen and they started searching for him. They searched for Dior for 20 minutes before they called the police at around 2:40 p.m. Rachel and Vernal called the police separately.
Rest of your emergency?
I'm actually camping in Leavenworth, just outside of Leavenworth.
Uh-huh.
My 2-year-old son, we can't find him.
How long has he been missing?
About,
An hour?
yeah.
Jessica?
Yeah.
Okay, what is he wearing?
He was wearing cowboy boots, a blue, pair, like pajama pants, and a camel jacket.
How tall is he? Hello?
Yes, I'm not exactly sure how. He's about.
Are you there? Okay. Is your husband calling too?
Like all down where we were camping at, and we can't find him at all.
Okay, we need you to stay within cell service. We've got people going on the way.
Thank you.
This very quickly led to a large search party of police and volunteers arriving at the camp around 4 p.m. There were searchers on horseback, ATVs, helicopters, and divers looking in the water near the campsite. The search was called off after 2 weeks with no trace of the topic. There really hasn't been much development in this case, but here are what I did find whilst researching. Jessica claims to have seen Isaac carrying a muddy shovel while she was looking for Dior, and that the shovel had blonde hair on it, which is the colour of Dior's hair, but as she tried to grab the hair, it blew away. Dior's parents have said that they believe that Dior was abducted. On Sunday, September 13, 2015, a woman on Facebook, Maria Redrum, posted a status saying that she had found a child wandering around a hotel in California. She posted a photo of the child alongside the status, and people thought the child looked very similar to Dior, but it was quickly discovered by authorities that this child was not Dior and that the missing child's mother was looking for him, and he was returned to her 2 hours after he had wandered into the hotel. In January 2016, law enforcement named both of Dior's parents as suspects. The only one police believe may be telling the truth is Isaac, as his story has not changed throughout the years. Vernal and Jessica have hired 2 private investigators over time, whom have both quit due to believing that the parents are not telling the truth and are at fault for Dior's disappearance. Philip Klein, a private investigator the family hired, recently did an interview saying that he would no longer be talking on this case. This is what he said in this interview. We went back and rebuilt this case from ground zero. We interviewed probably over 150 witnesses and followed up on, I think, 300 tips. We have declared it now an accidental death/homicide, and we've based it on a few things. I want to go over those things very clearly because there's a lot of public conjecture at this point. I want to announce for the first time we, law enforcement and the FBI, have interviewed Vernal Coons Dior Sr., the father of Dior, 9 times. He's been given 9 interviews and none of the stories he has told has matched or been verified. That is very disturbing for us as investigators. He's given us a story, and when we go out and try to prove it, simple things on the timeline fall apart quickly. We can't even match simple things like filling up with gas at a diesel store in the door on the day of the event. He clearly says that the gentleman who was pumping the gas actually saw the child. We interviewed the guy who had supposedly seen the child, and he comes back and says, I don't remember seeing a child. Simple things like a dog in the back of the pickup, there was no dog. Little things that investigators look at as simple things, Vernal has not been able to verify with us. As for Jessica, she has given 5 interviews to law enforcement, and none of the stories she's given us matched. In fact, she changes her story depending on what day it is and what day we talk with her. That's very disturbing to us. We can't even verify basic information that Vernal tells us, and neither of their stories match. It's not even close, as a matter of fact. Eyewitnesses that they have listed, from guys that distribute the beer to the clerk at the store, to the person that pumped the gas to the basic crime line information. Vernal and Jessica tell us one story, but then the witnesses say no, that never happened. Here's what did happen. So we take all of that and we come back with them. Okay, tell us what really happened, because all these witnesses you have given us, they don't match. And so they tell us the story again. We go out and we try to verify with different witnesses. Then, in some cases, some say, we don't even know who these people are. Who are you talking about? Not only that, it comes down to simple things like they played with Dior at the store. We talked to the witnesses before and after who didn't even see a child in the store. It brings concern to us and brings us to the question of why would they lie to us? Why would they not just tell us the truth? We add that Vernal has gone in for 5 polygraph tests from different polygraph test administrators, state, local and federal government. Vernal not only failed all 5, but he failed all 5 in the 99th percentile. That is hugely disturbing to us. He can't even pass a non-control question like, are you going to tell us the truth today? He flunks it, and not only does he flunk it, he doesn't just spike in his polygraph test, it's like a wave. That disturbs us tremendously. Then we move to Jessica. Law enforcement gives Jessica 4 different tests. Jessica failed not only to the 99th percentile, but she can't pass the simple control questions. That's not because she's nervous. She's able to pass her name. She's able to pass where she is today. She's able to pass the certain questions that are no-brainer questions, but doesn't even come close to what happened to Dior. Or, are you going to tell the truth today? She fails so bad that in my 26 years, I've never heard of a person failing that bad. Today we are going to announce that there was a cadaver dog interaction with certain equipment at the site, and that cadaver dog did hit positive. I can't go any further than that, other than we do have a dog that did hit in the initial 2 weeks of the primary investigation. Dior was supposedly wearing a camouflage jacket, blue pants and cowboy boots when he disappeared from the campground, but the jacket was found in Dior's home on July 15, 2016. A stage shopkeeper told Jessica that she believed she saw Dior on July 10, 2015, around 6 p.m. with an unkempt man buying candy from her store, and that Dior was crying. The two apparently drove off in a black Jeep Rubicon. Frank Vilt, the other private investigator, believes it is possible that Jessica gave up Dior for adoption sometime during the trip, either with or without Vernal's knowledge. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Dior Coons Jr., please contact the Idaho Lemhi County Sheriff's Office.